Welcome back, guys, to Trails into Reverie, where last episode, after Elliot's performance came to its end, he joined up with us and shared his information as we talked to his audience before leaving Matter Park. Getting everyone together at the cafe to discuss things further, we received a call from Representative Regnitz, who invited us to lunch to discuss a matter of importance, leading us to the Garnier district and a quick patrol as we now step inside the hotel for the meeting. We're scheduled to have lunch with Representative Regnitz at this hotel. We still have some time to spare, but I wonder if we should head in early. Entering the hotel will cause the main story to advance. Heimdall will become inaccessible, as will any sub-events yet to be seen. I've been everywhere. Don't do this to me. I've been everywhere. I'm 100% certain I've been everywhere and I've talked to everyone. With no new patrols. I'll have to believe. I've got a safety save, but it's never fun actually having to play through things again. I'm going auto speed. Vroom. They already done the start of the game again after all for the moving on the Cold Steel 4 records. Enter der Himmel.
Thank you for coming.
Not at all. Thank you for inviting us.
I'm so happy I get to see your faces again.
Your Highness.
What brings you here, Your Highness? I should very much be asking you the same thing. All this, and you're being forced to place yourself in harm's way for my brother. I'm so sorry for not consulting you first. Yes, as you ought to be. I'm your best friend. I could have thanked you much sooner, Elise, had you not kept this a secret from me. Then you won't stop me? Stop you? Heaven forbid. As soon as Representative Regnitz informed me of the details, I chose to accompany him of my own volition. I cannot bear to ignore a matter that involves my family. So please, let me do my part. Let me be part of your team.
I'd like that very much.
You've always been a part of the team, Your Highness.
Well, this has come to a fine resolution, but it won't do to begin discussions on an empty stomach. Why don't we have some lunch first?
You won't hear any objections from me.
I could definitely use a bite.
That really hit the spot. I can hardly believe you finished it all. Your stomach really is a void. I'd like to see who can eat more between you and Maya. I can't blame you, though. The quality of a first-class hotel's food is not to be underestimated. Yeah, I didn't think I'd get to come to a place like this on my food tour. You must have really liked it too, Tilly. You ate a ton. Well, I'm a growing girl just as much as you. Well, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. Shall we all get down to business then? First, I wanted to discuss the disappearance of the prince and new princess. With what we have now, we believe it to be the work of a terrorist who goes by C. I wish we could say more about them, but I'm afraid we know very little. Just that they're the leader of a so-called reborn Imperial Liberation Front. They also look slightly different from the C we dealt with in the past. Speaking of which, I'd like your take on that matter, Rean. Do you believe the new C and original C are one and the same? I'll admit that I haven't been able to get in touch with Crow to confirm for sure, but I'm convinced that no, they are not the same person. I was thinking the same. This new one has mimicked the original style in their statement, but I think Crow has left those days behind for good. It's a relief to hear you feel that way. Seems like a safe bet, yeah. As for the contents of their statement, they referred directly to His Highness. Our first target was the foolish prince and his wings, now bound to inaction. That does make it quite clear that they were responsible for the abduction. I would assume wings refers to the courageous. Vast as the Empire is, how they're able to keep a ship of that size hidden from sight is quite a mystery in itself. Yeah, it might have stealth capabilities, but that can only go so far on its own. It's impressive they've managed to keep its location from the intelligence division. even if it isn't at its former size. Me and Tilly are still in it, though. So you heard any new statements from C? I'm afraid not. That's the only one. We've been trying to investigate this matter as best we can, but our foe is quite cunning. They won't let themselves be caught so easily. If only. Given the nature of this crime, we'll need to be exceptionally covert during our investigation. But naturally, the government cannot and will not leave this case unsolved. You will have our full backing however you choose to go about this. If you're in need of the military police's assistance, you need only to ask. Thank you, Your Excellency. Next, I'd like to discuss my primary reason for summoning you here. Would that be the information you said you wanted to share when you called? That it would. This information was given to me by General Van Dyke, but Princess Alfin and Elise have also verified it with their own experiences. Really? Does this relate to the thing you were concerned about when we met up with Elliot? Yes, it does. Allow me to explain. The students of St. Astraea come from many a different background. We have many with family in the military, including officers and generals. That in itself isn't a problem. What is that many of these military family members have been reportedly acting strangely of late. In what way? I remember hearing rumors about that when I was at the school too. Most of them are seemingly reformists and young officers who idolize the late Chancellor, as if they refuse to settle back into normality after the war's end. They're still addressing others with deep aggression and are clearly very unhappy with the current state of the Empire. Oh, we've seen a couple of them on our rounds. Oh. The thing that concerns us most of all is their reaction to Crossbell's reoccupation. They aren't at all angry with the idea of a united nation. It's the opposite, in fact. They're in full support of it. Not like that far, though. That is not good. That's an understatement. What utter insanity. The success of a united nation would also mean the end of Erebonia. Precisely. I am a reformist, but supporting such an extreme concept is nothing short of baffling to me. According to General Van Dyke, some of them have been showing worrying signs of plotting something in light of this. Exactly what that something is, in detail, he has yet to confirm. That kind of ties up with what me, Eustace, and Elliot found out too. Yeah. Oh? Could you tell me what you discovered? The group shared their findings with Representative Regnitz. Soldiers holding covert meetings in the city and large amount of supplies disappearing. It wouldn't surprise me if members of the army were defecting to the Ebon Defense Force. I think we need to look into potential points of contact between them. Agreed. I think we've also got a clearer picture of what's been going on here after sharing all we know. If we put the pieces we currently have together, the muck and mire that gathers in the Vermilion City from C's statement refers to defecting members of the army. That makes sense. The statement did mention it would see those who supported the United Nation pay for their crimes. Guess it's all fallen into place then. If there really are rebels in the army and punish them as C's goal, then who we find first doesn't really matter because the other will be there. How convenient for us. Yeah, sure is. I'm glad I was able to help put you on the right track. Past 7 always comes through in the end. Your Highness? Pardon me, you don't have to worry. I'm hardly the only one for whom life is difficult right now. I'm sure that if I were to ask you to rest, you wouldn't listen. But please at least be a little gentler to yourself, Your Highness. But the great mental burden of not knowing whether family is safe and well is not to be underestimated. Them being missing also means you have to carry on with the work that would normally be given to them. You are going through too much for one to handle right now. If you are feeling at all unwell, we would like for you to consider taking some time off. I couldn't possibly... I'm in full agreement. Taking care of yourself is as much a part of your duties as working. While you do that, we'll see to it that these crimes are solved. You have our word. I'll do what I can in your stead, and I will see that Prince Oliver and Lady Sherazade are brought home as soon as possible. You can put your trust in us. I suppose you're right. Perhaps resting is as much part of my duties as well.
My heart is breaking for you, Your Highness. No one should have to handle a burden like this alone.
Rean? You're staring.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention.
It wasn't my intention to scold you either. I'm well aware that you're being considerate of my feelings, and I appreciate it.
I'm glad.
And you won't have to worry, Your Excellency. We're still not sure exactly how the situation stands in Crossbell, but I'm sure Marcus is just fine. I concur. It will take more than this to make him lose heart. Thank you both. I've also put similar faith in my son. I'm sure he's doing everything he can on the inside to see justice prevail. As are Elisa and Toa. I think we all feel the same way. They ain't got nothing to worry about as long as they have Supermaid with them. And we're a whole super crew, so if they got things covered, then so do we. That's right. We are Erebonia's crack squad. Thank you all for your time. I'm glad we could exchange information. It was a very worthwhile meeting. Well, we ought to make our way back to the palace. Be careful on your journey, everyone. And I'm counting on you, Elise. Thank you, Your Highness. Good luck. I'm always available if you need to get in touch. Should we get going too, then? Yes, let's. I just gotta check out the hotel first. Can't just leave. Resume the investigations, like, do it! Hope you enjoy our hotel's culinary delights. We source only the finest, freshest ingredients to ensure our guest dining experience is second to none. Our meals are dependent upon what ingredients we obtain, so do visit again so you can enjoy another unique meal. It was all delicious. I want to bring the rest of our old class next time. Much as I like that, too, I don't know if my wallet will... like it. Get out! Don't stop making me pay! Her Highness was looking much brighter when she left than when she arrived. I'm pleased your lunch meeting was a positive one. Should you ever have the opportunity to come again, we would be delighted to serve you. Can't talk from here. It has been an eventful half year since we last met, Count Richmond. Indeed, it was quite the sight seeing those conservative nobles try to act like they owned Erebonia after Osborne's passing. While those who fail to keep up the times will always be left behind, that is simply the way of the world. With that in mind, I've decided that the Empire has no future. I'll be investing in Crossbell instead. Of course, you already knew this. I've noticed you trying ever so hard to interfere with my investments. I may have. Perhaps done that at times, although it was unintentional, I assure you. I merely thought I was correctly reading the Times, unlike those other fools. Indeed, I understand what you mean. Thanks to that insufferable Rufus Albert, I'm at risk of losing everything. I expected the accelerated development of Crossbell, its downtown area, its residential and business infrastructure. If another war breaks out, all my work will have been for nothing. We are in the same position, my friend. I don't wish for that any more than you. So I have a proposal. What say you to joining forces yet again? I was just thinking the very same thing. This is no time to squabble over Crossbell and shares. We must put our differences aside if we're to get through this. Agreed. Our partnership is for the greater good. The fool, to think he really believes this. I was only interfering in Crossbell's market to make him let his guard down. What? My eyes are set on bigger Calvardian businesses. I may perhaps only have a little capital left, but I've invested it all in Calvar's businesses. You lose this time, Gorty. This is no time to squabble over Crossbell and shares. We must put our differences aside if we're to get through this. Haha, I can't believe that fool saw me investing a little in Crossbell and went to copy me with all he had. What he doesn't know is that my sights have been on Calvard. My funds may be limited, but there's plenty to gain there. These two fell out over their financial losses during the lead up to the war. And after what happened in Crossbell, they decided to get together again. No doubt they have thought of another good way to use one another to recoup their losses. No matter the times, these two never change, and I mean that in a bad way, of course. She's just saying it out in the open. But they are both up to something is clear, and that promises not to be anything good. I wouldn't be surprised if they put all their assets on the line. Farewell to your titles. We're never allowed up there. I'm guessing we were just up there now, look at it. You would also be more than welcome to stay, should you like. We have the honor of being regarded as Erebonia's finest hotel. And we will spare no effort to show why that is. It's the weirdest thing when they say spare no effort. I'm just like, just leave me alone. How about you just leave me alone? I want a room. Leave me alone. I remember the time that a maid entered my room when I was on my honeymoon. Memorable. Huh? Something feels strange. Choosing to continue will cause the main story to advance. It will also not be possible to go any further in Rean's story for a brief period. Is something wrong? It's probably nothing. I just got a weird feeling. It feels like something is in my pocket that wasn't there before. What is this? That's a weird looking mirror. Since when did you carry one of those around? Since never? This isn't mine. Just ended up in my pocket somehow. Are you certain? I doubt anyone can slip something into your pocket without you noticing. Yeah, nothing gets by you, Rean. Well, this did. I don't have a clue how this got here, but there has to be a reason behind it. Though I can't imagine it connects in any way to the prince's disappearance or what's happening in Crossbell. What? What's happening?
The conditions have been met. The road to where all may gather, to where destiny avails itself, just at the horizon, is open. Come, and sink into an illusion that mirrors the real world and extols its endless possibilities.
Okay then. What just happened? What? Where are we? It's some sort of white garden. I've never seen anything like it. I'm getting the feeling there's more to this place than meets the eye too. I mean, what kind of garden is surrounded by floating books? Yeah, I'm not sure where we are, but it doesn't feel like the world we know. How did we even get here to begin with? That's a good question. I can't fathom how we came here either. In fact, I can't recall what I was doing before I ended up here at all. I feel as though we were all together the moment before we arrived, but beyond that, I haven't the slightest clue what happened. Well, this is just great. It's like something is blocking out my memories of before we got here. Actually, it's worse than that. It's not just my memories of right before. There's got to be a pretty good reason I was hanging around you guys, but beats me what it is. At least we're on the same page about that. I feel fuzzy too. I've been trying my best to recall what I was doing earlier today, but nothing's coming to mind. My best guess is we were working together for some reason, but I'm not sure why. Regardless of how we got here, I think it's safe to assume it's affected our memories somehow. Agreed, and standing around being confused isn't going to answer any of our questions. I think we should have a look around and see what we can find. So do I. If nothing else, we need to know whether this garden is safe. We may find clues as to how we arrived here as well. Sounds like we got a plan then. Oh, and don't forget there are 2 floors to this place. Let's check them both out. Okay, we forcibly switched back onto another route of no memories. No one remembers anything that's going on. If we look at this sign, what sign? Sign. Mirror. Fully completed. Though, to be honest, it wasn't like the... Wasn't the outer bit of it on the inner part of it? I don't even know. Okay. Obviously, that's what we need to check for the key event, so we should check everything else out first. I take it nothing's changed. Yeah, we've all got our gear. We're Lloyd's crew now. Okay. Look at this ball. A large sphere is floating in the air. What could this be? I'm not sure. I've never seen anything like it. Pattern on its surface kind of resembles the one on this place's walls. It being placed on a platform in the middle makes it seem important too. It doesn't appear to be actively doing anything at the very least. Yet another mystery to be solved. Let's just push it to the back of our minds for now. Remember that it's here. I don't know about that. We should... Pushing anything to the back of my mind seems a bit dumb at this point. The condition has been met. Oh, There's 3 things to touch here as well. This is the green marker thing, so I'll do that first. It's the safest thing to touch. Good old stone monument, huh? Now we're starting to come together. You figured something out? Yep, I'm 100% certain now, though. I don't have a clue what's going on. 3 years later, and he hasn't changed a bit. We're right back to square one. Hey, dudes. I don't want to check first. Can we, okay, so we can go across the entirety of this, and then there's a big middle bit. Let's just do the green things and then start sweeping through all the red ones. I'm just like, make a weird noise with my mouth, Horrible noise. Is this some kind of door? Yes, and it's unusually large. I wonder what it's doing here. It looks entirely out of place. You could say that about the books floating around too. I've been thinking about those ever since we arrived. There's something about them that's very disturbing. No kidding. What's stranger is I can't make out any of the titles on the book. No matter how hard I look either. Christ! That's a mystery in itself. It's all Dorothy's books. Mysterious tree! I'm gonna go down from here. Is this stairs? Oh, stairs. Old-fashioned. We want lifts. Okay, let's go up the middle one. Oh, there's a barrier. Strange barrier is blocking the way. It doesn't look like we'll be able to get through here. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm curious to know where that elevator leads. It's not active right now either way. No use worrying about it right now. Maybe we'll figure out how to get past this thing later. Lloyd, you don't go through the barrier, you go over it. Over the barrier, that's what you do. Well, I guess we'll start with the obvious... Now that we know there's more to check out than just this. That mirror is enormous. And it looks remarkably similar to this one. Oh, it was on the outside. I thought it was on the inside. You're right. It's as though the smaller mirror is a fragment of the larger one. Come to think of it, I'm surprised I can remember you even having that mirror. I do too, although I can't remember what it is or why Lloyd has it. Oh, wait, we couldn't figure that out anyway. Actually... Did you work something out? I wouldn't go that far, unfortunately. I just remember something that's common in Eastern folklore. It said mirrors with evil spirits in them can cause strange phenomena. It made me wonder if this mirror perhaps has some kind of strange power in it. And if that's how we were all brought here. That's pretty spooky, but just as good a guess as any at this point. This place is so weird that I wouldn't rule out anything as a possibility. Yep, I can feel something strange coming off it, but it's not doing anything for now, at least. Maybe it'll kick on or something if we do something else around here. Are you saying it could have conditions? If that's the case, discerning those conditions could be our key to getting out of here. Let's continue to have a look around then. Feel like we're really getting into the crux of the game now. Session 3. Well, looking at the name on the thing, we might be able to get a bit more about it. That's cheating looking at the minimap. Not the first time I've been in some kind of weird other space, so... Technically, it's not your first time either, Lloyd, but you're having trouble with brains. I know this is a garden. Part of me still wasn't expecting to find a tree. Yes, let alone one as splendid as this. It seems so out of place here. Looks like some kind of broadleaf tree. Never seen one with leaves, bark, or branches like this before, though. It's like something else entirely got reshaped into the form of a tree. That's an interesting perspective. Now I'm even more confused. Let's just agree that there's something unusual about it. Though that doesn't make it any different from the garden as a whole. Can't rule out it being placed here for more than just decoration. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, I'm pretty sure it's glowing too. The more we explore, the more mysterious this place seems to be. I suppose all we can do is keep poking around and hope everything becomes clear. I mean, it's glowing kind of... bluish. We'll say bluish. Right, so we got 3 places to check out here. 2 of them are rock pedestals. stone pillar. I think it's some kind of device. The mysteries continue to pile up. There's another one over there as well. That probably holds some significance. Let's go check it out. Gotta check them out both before I can get the full lowdown. Still looks like a stone. This one's pretty similar to the other, but something's different about it. Yeah, it's gold and silver. It does seem that way. There must be some reason there are two of them. Yeah, safe to assume they're connected in some way. They're likely related to whatever this place's purpose is. If only we knew whatever the heck that is. Hopefully we'll figure something out if we keep looking around. I want to know how, like, they don't remember what they were doing this day, but what, like, memories of themselves do they know? They know that it's 3 years since they've seen Lecter or something. They do know that much. So how much memory has been zooped? I'm assuming a week, maybe, or something like that. Probably since the start of the game, right? 15th, was it? It's a globe on some kind of pedestal. I can only assume this is meant to be used for something as well. Something important by the look of it. No reaction at all. Yeah, whatever this thing is, it's not on at the moment. Looks like a relic or something, given the feel of this place. Hard to say for sure, though. Now that you mention it, this garden does resemble an ancient ruin of sorts. There's just one problem with that theory. Yeah, everything seems too new. There's not a speck of dust on this pedestal. It looks like it was made 5 minutes ago. Then why isn't it active? I can think of several possibilities, but they're all just conjecture. Guess we should keep looking around. Someone needs to organize food. Rations now, guys. Before I investigated the area further, but weren't able to find anything useful. Eventually, they returned to the plaza where they first arrived to discuss their next move. I think we've seen all there is to see around here. Unfortunately, I still don't have a clue what this place is. Likewise, everything we've inspected has just left us with more questions. I just wish we still had our memories from before we came here. I imagine that would fill in several gaps for us. Still, it isn't as though we haven't learned anything useful at all. For one, we know this place was created by someone or something. True, it's definitely weird enough to not seem real, but I think it's safe to assume it has some kind of purpose. Beyond that, we know it resembles some kind of garden or ruin, but it's anyone's guess as to what it was intended to be. There's also all these devices we came across, but none of them are active. That leads us right back to square one. Let's agree that each detail is going to be useful information in trying to learn more. Above all, we need to learn why we're here.
A new story is in motion. Your fate is but one thread intermingled with many. Now, rise from your slumber.
Was that a memory? Are you alright, Lloyd? Something came to me just now. Do you guys remember hearing a voice just before coming here? A voice? Wait, now that you mention it, I do faintly remember hearing one. There was something strange about it. Yeah, I kind of remember it too, but it's still pretty fuzzy. I wonder. It mentioned being just one thread among many. Does that mean... That sound. I remember hearing it before we came here. You've got to be kidding. Yeah. Where are we? What the heck is going on? I don't recognize this place at all. Whoa, what are you guys doing here? What just happened? Did we fall into some kind of teleportation spell? No, that wouldn't add up. Rean, you were called here too. Lloyd? Right, I feel like something or someone brought us here. That's all I can remember. It's strange. I can't remember what we were doing at all a few moments ago. Me neither. What's really weird is it doesn't feel like I was in any sort of panic. I feel like everything was normal. What the hell's going on here? Were we even together before this? I could have sworn we had all split up. I can't say for sure, but that's what my instincts are telling me as well. That sounds remarkably similar to what we went through. I'm guessing we essentially experienced the same thing. The only difference is they had split into two parties, but were still called at the same time. I think the most logical thing to do now is swap all the info we have. So you suddenly found yourself in possession of a strange mirror you'd never seen before and heard a voice. You were right, that's what happened to us too. How did we experience this exact same thing so far apart? Your guess is as good as mine. Even us being unable to remember where we were before is the same. I would ordinarily refuse to believe such a bizarre sequence of events, but it's impossible to refute so much hard evidence. My top concern is understanding the why rather than the how. There must be a reason why we specifically were the ones brought here. I know what you mean. This is the last way I expected to see Lloyd and Ellie again. Yeah, I wasn't planning on a sudden reunion, but it's good to see you again. I'm sorry it's not under better circumstances, but it's good to see you again, Yuna. Same here. Yuna continues to be a social butterfly even in the strangest of situations. Well, that just goes to show how genuine she is. That's certainly the real Yuna. Still, if not a single one of us remembers where we were or what we were doing before we were called here, yeah, that's got to be by design. Something about this place blocks the recent memories of anyone who comes here. What other explanation can there be? How can that be possible? Beats me, but let's face the facts. It's the only thing that makes sense. I agree it's the only reasonable explanation. Regardless of how we got here, we have to accept that this place is very unusual. Easier said than done. No, he's right. Let's move past that and focus on the bigger picture. We must consider what we should do next. My first instinct is to search for an escape route so we can return back to wherever it is we were. But you all said you didn't have any luck during your investigation, yeah? I'm afraid so. Hold up. What was that? Oh. Well, what'd you know? It looks like Class 7 coming here may have been one of the conditions. Conditions? Oh yeah, you worked something out. Maybe, but I'm still only speculating. These mirrors we were given might just be fragments of a bigger whole after all. And if that's the case... well, I think we have a relatively good idea of the situation we're in now. Though I wouldn't mind getting a look around here for myself before we go any further. Why not help work out who or what is responsible for all of this, but I'd like to at least familiarize myself with our surroundings. Good thinking. You said stuff's changed since you first wandered around, right? That's an excellent point. We'll come with. I want to see what's changed as well.